Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of All in All with Alex. I'm your host, of course, Alex. Today we have a very special guest, Miss Monique. How you doing today?
Doing great. I'm trying to make sure I can stay on. I guess I got to make sure I stay plugged in. But other than that, I'm doing fantastic.
Okay, great. That's what we like to hear. So, can you give the people a quick background about yourself, and then we'll dive into the questions?
Sounds good to me.
Sure.
Well, here we go. I'm Monique A.J. Smith. I'm a leadership strategist for athletic departments, sport organizations, and individuals who wish to advance in athletic administration, sports management careers.
Okay, perfect. So, what inspired you to start Seeds of Empowerment LLC, and what is its primary mission?
Well, I actually started that in 2005 when I was doing my 9 to 5. I was working with the CIAA. I was there for 13 years. And one of the things I enjoyed the most was professional development, personal development, and helping people reach their goals. But one of the things that people fail to recognize is that it's going to take growth. It's going to take being uncomfortable. And so I want to plant the seed of being uncomfortable, but thinking about what is going to become of it after you go through your growth period. So, Seeds of Empowerment is about planting seeds of empowerment to lead others to greatness.
Okay, cool. So, can you share some key insights from your 30 plus years in sports management?
Well, I will tell you, we're in a very interesting time because athletics has become fluid. What would be a bylaw and a violation in 1 month, and 3 months later, it could not be. Student athletes have now gained their rights in various ways. One of them is transferring as many times as you like, with a little bit of guardrails, but in general, you can transfer more than twice.
Right.
Okay. Then we have the name, image, and likeness, which is now I'm trying to get the students and families to realize that you are already a brand. You don't have to wait for a brand to fall into your lap. And then we have some students who wish to become employees. And so, so again, my 30 years, this is a new frontier. And because I do teach at Hampton University, I teach sports management courses, I'm trying to prepare the individuals to be ready for the pipeline for the new day in athletic administration.
Okay. So, so how has your experience in collegiate athletics, especially with the CIAA, shaped your approach to leadership?
Well, before I came to the CIAA, I was on a college campus for 10 years. First 8 years was at the St. Paul's College. I went there as a sports information director. Eventually, I was interim athletic director for 2 years. And then I left and went Division I in compliance. And so I interned with the CIAA when I was in college, and the commissioner said, come on back home. So I was there for 13 years. So what I brought to the CIAA was campus knowledge of what was needed from a conference office, policy procedures, assistance, knowing how, and I served on a lot of NCAA committees. So those committees really did a lot of shaping because I knew if we were going to be able to play in postseason play, be able to get these monies that were based on the number of championships you hold, be in good standing with the NCAA, filling out, completing a lot of forms and things of that nature. So that shaped me, and being an educator for the campuses to say, look, if we don't do this report right, people gonna make assumptions about us, and so we need to be aware of how to fill this out correctly, and what message do we want to send.
Okay. So, what made what motivated you to create significance in athletics and sports magazine, and what impact do you feel like it has had?
Wow. Well, at first, I was trying to. Many people want to know how do they do what I do, meaning the consultancy piece that I do.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, while you got your 9 to 5, you need to be able to get your expertise out there automatically. And so I've been consulting even when I was in the CWA, like I said before. And one of the things I was known for was helping women get the ADC with the retreats that we would have and things of that nature. And I would bring a facilitator in to address some of the issues that I saw we needed to elevate ourselves up on. But I could not get, so I created like a speakers bureau, but I really could not get people to grasp that concept. So I scratched that and I said, okay, I'm going to help you identify your intellectual property and put it in a magazine. And so with that, I do expert marketing. Because here's the thing. As educators, we give away our information for free. Mm-hmm. And so sometimes when we go speak, we get a love offering, but we don't have a product. See, if you have a product after you finish speaking, you can do one or two things. You can ask the organizer to buy the product for all their attendees, or you can ask for vendor space and be able to sell your product. So many people don't have a book, but you do have an article in a magazine that allows you to have a product and people can leave with a piece of you. Just trying to get them to see, if you want to become a consultant, which is an entrepreneur, you have to think that you have something to offer someone, a product. Now, the interesting thing, if you've been at one institution, another institution, and another institution, you might have created programs and done different things. And the program might belong to the institution, but the process you took to create the program is your intellectual property. So I help them package that to be able to monetize that.
Okay. I like that.
Thank you.
So, can you discuss the importance of featuring Black women sharing their specialized knowledge in your magazine?
Well, here's the beautiful thing. We just launched our 8th issue. It's on Amazon. And we're able to pinpoint when someone says we need an expert in blank. So, for example, I was asked by the Charlotte Mecklenburg County Coaches Symposium to speak. And I said, okay, and that's when I could speak on. And I said, well, I have a signature workshop I'm doing now is our playing field is expanding. I don't say it's changing. I say expanding. Because if I say change, your body automatically goes into fight or flight. So if I say exploring, you go into like, okay, let's see what we can do. All right. So then he said he also had some other openings. He wanted to have a mental health person. I've had several mental health people in my magazine. I was able to invite one of my clients to be there. Another one, he was talking about parent engagement. All right. Fan engagement. I have another person who talks about risk management. And then she just started a whole Facebook group called what? Sports civility in sports community. And so she was able to come with me. I had all these women with me to be able to share their intellectual property because, again, they created workshops. They created something to address the need. The young lady that came with mental health, Dr. Jaquana Jackson, she actually deals with trauma and women in sports as athletes. And so that was a very unique piece. And they had people come to their table afterwards. Again, she's a perfect example. She didn't have a product. Dr. Jackson did not have a product. And so she bought the magazine and was able to upcharge it, all right, because she was going to sign it and be able to say, have engagement with people. So then when the person takes the magazine home and share it with somebody who may need it, then you take care of your story on and on.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, how has your podcast entitled "A Chat in the Garden" evolved over its 10 seasons?
Well, we are in our 11th season now. August started season 11.
Okay.
And we're actually internationally known.
Okay.
I'm booked now. We're in August, and I'm booked now until July 2028.
Oh man, 2028.
No. Sorry.
Oh,
2025.
I was gonna say,
2025.
wow, that's
No,
three.
no, no. No, I'm sorry. Yeah,
You fine.
2025. 2025.
You
Yeah.
fine.
No, I haven't gone that far. I mean, I actually could. I actually stopped. I was like, I'm not going to book anybody else. I don't want to follow over uh like have 12 months ahead. I'm
Mhm.
already like, 11 months.
Right,
So
right.
but no, it's really great because when I travel, people say, "Are you the chat in the garden lady?" I'm like, "Yeah." So when I travel, I do have connecting events. And it's funny because they all know me, but they all live in the same city and might not know each other. So that's where we
Oh,
connect vines and minds together to grow.
I like that. Vines and minds. I like that. So, what are some common challenges? What are some common challenges that Black women face in athletics and sports, and then how do you help address them?
Well, I would say an administration of sports, because the sports
Okay.
can be the athletes,
Right.
it could be the fans, it could be, anything. But from a leadership standpoint, a lot of it has to do with confidence.
Okay.
Because I mean, it's just like I was listening to my husband and I were listening to Earth, Wind and Fire last night. And it's something about a child does not have any fear. They just go out and they go see somebody in the mall, and that's my new friend.
Mm-hmm.
But then life starts hitting them, and they start having fears and having concerns. So, when, that's what I mean. I mean, you probably have confidence, but sometimes something starts happening that you kind of go like, I'm not going to address that. No, I don't want that position. No, I'm going to stay right where I am
Mm-hmm.
because it's comfortable. I'm going to tell you, you can't grow when you're comfortable. And they miss out on opportunities. Or, funny thing, they don't even see the possibilities. And that's where I come in with planting seeds of empowerment to help them see some things. A young lady just emailed me right before I, came on with you, and I was addressing a question. Young people are trying to get in. My whole point is to increase the pipeline, so then the next and next and next can come. Um, but you know, she's like, "How do I get my first start?" Now you see, life ain't hit her yet. She's eager and whatnot. And so that's why I started a podcast. It's not just like what advice I can give. What I'm going to tell her is search within the group, not for a person per se, but with the area. She wants to be in communications of sports, which is sports information, sports communications, broadcasting. And so then she's going to be able to look and see what podcasts relate to that and then listen to that path. There's something about seeing, because again, seeing is being and believing when you see it. That's going to build her confidence more than me giving her direct advice about her.
Agree. Yep, I agree. So, can you share a success story that comes to mind of someone that you've mentored or guided in their athletics administration career?
Lots of those. I have lots of those. Oh, one that comes to mind. I'm not going to take. I'm going to take a student. Okay,
Okay.
actually today, matter of fact.
Okay.
So I was in my office, and one of my Hampton University students, male, matter of fact, just want to give you, I'm equal opportunity when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to mentoring. It just so happens that my business is concentrated with women, but I do help men. So young man comes, he is a lacrosse student athlete in my class, sports management. And I think a lot of this has to do with just watching me. Um, I'll give you two in 1 week. Also had another young lady come see me Saturday at my house. Now she is someone that was a freshman in '94. I had two young ladies come in my office at St. Paul's College and want to be my intern as a sports information director. I had two young ladies. Both these young ladies end up running their own athletic department, sports formation. One is Aurelia Washington. She's still at John C. Smith. April Emery became the first Black woman on COSADA, which is College Sports Information Directors of America. First Black woman on their board. I think that was maybe 2008 or something like that. I was blown away because I was I belonged to COSADA in the 90s. And to have somebody that I trained become the very first Black woman on COSADA board, man, I was just floored and just so proud. And so that same young lady was just acknowledged, I think, the Hall of Fame. Because again, it's like 10 years, say 08 and then 2018, she got the Trailblazer Award for a national. I mean, can you imagine all colleges, Division 1, 2, and 3, NCAA, junior college, all of them, Black woman, Trailblazer Award, April Emery, somebody I trained.
Yeah, that's amazing.
She came by the house on Saturday. I was so tickled pink.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. I mean, it sounds like you're changing the college administration world one person at a time. So
yes,
it's always good.
Yeah.
So okay, so you got a lot that's going on. I mean, you're a leadership strategist, educator, podcast host. How do you balance all those roles?
Oh, you should see my notes right now. Yeah, I mean, I set boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
I set boundaries. And I live by my calendar. And you really do have to manage expectations of others. You can't control how and what they say or respond, but you can say, I will respond on this day at this time. And so I do executive coaching on Monday nights, Wednesday nights, and Thursday nights. If you want to talk to me, you have to get on the calendar. Even if you know me, you better text me because I'm not answering the phone. Yeah, I mean, but April, she never. So again, people know she never calls, so I answer her call. I mean, even my mom. Now, my mom she calls. Well, she even called me since we're sitting here, but the deal is, only call me when there's an emergency. Don't call and tell me who you saw downtown. Okay? It's got to be so I can stop what I'm doing. And so I do a lot of work in bulk. Like you said, my podcast is booked to when?
July 2025.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? So I block things so that I can be able to, and my mom has doctor's appointments. I said it only can be on Mondays and Fridays. And then I ask for help. Mom's got an appointment. I'm going to take her. My husband's going to pick her up. So I really do try to, I do have help. I have 3 staff members. One person engineers my show. Another person does my marketing. And another person is my concierge for the magazine to communicate with people and tell them to know where we are.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I mean, it's always good to have help when you're doing all that, because I definitely, I need to get to a point where I can hire somebody, because I need to get to that point too, because doing all this stuff by yourself is definitely overwhelming. So that's why I try to stick to my schedule. My calendar is like my best friend as well. I put everything in my calendar. I don't like anything that's last minute. I don't really like it.
Well, see, again, I'm going to tell you, like I told a guy that he asked me to help him. I'm like, no, you just need a content creator. And the young lady that that emailed me today,
mm-hmm.
She wants to be in sports, communication. I think she said she did some content creation, but I think she wants to be a sideline reporter and all that kind of good stuff. But there are eager young people who want to get their feet wet. And that's how I started. I interned at CIAA my sophomore year in college. I interned at BET. I interned at the local TV station. And for me, internships are great because you get a chance to learn what you don't like. And I didn't like television. You know, I like sports information where I could create my own slogans, be able to promote the people, you know, and that's how I treat the people in my magazine. I want to promote you so that if you try to go for that job, they would have seen your name so many times. They're like, I want to bring them in for an interview. So the same way they see you on the ballot and they check you off is the same way I want them to see your name and bring you in for an interview.
Agree. Um, so can you discuss the importance of brain health advocacy in sports communities?
Well, yes, I am on the board of Head to Speech. Shout out to Dr. Tambia Pope, who is the president and founder of Head to Speech, and I am a board member. And so for me, I have been educated the importance of brain health. And brain health to me has been eye-opening because when I have been exposed to the fact, I don't know if you watched the TV show Quarterback. It was on Netflix. And Cousins was,
Okay.
Cousins, I forgot what team he was with, but Cousins was doing prehab before the game. So that when he gets hit, it becomes absorbed in parts of his body that he can manage. So prehab is the same thing with, I used to remember playing the game Memory, you know, and it still works today. Like I can tell you where something is because I see it in my head. Because as a kid, I practiced the matching game with just cards, you know. And so my brain has been conditioned to go and spot it in my head the where I saw it. Like you missing your socks, I can see it in my head, and then I say the last time I saw it, it was there. So my brain has been trained that way. So hopefully, if I get shook up or something, that part is going to still be there because it's been ingrained. It's like muscle memory, but it's a little bit different because you want it to be had you thinking about necessarily what happens automatically. And so when I saw that, and then I met, because Dr. Pope was in my magazine, so now I'm able to educate people on her expertise. That becomes a way to, if you incorporate speech pathology in some of your pre-games or some of your training, your prehab, that when something does happen, you can have a quicker return to learning and playing.
Okay. So
You ran out of questions?
no, I was going to ask another one, but it was one that you already answered, kind of as you were talking about that. So, so let's do this. Can you share some key lessons from your time as an athletic conference executive?
Well, one of the things that I'll just share some things that I'm most proud of. Okay, so one of the things I was really tasked with, which I felt like Noah in the Ark, was bringing bowling, women's bowling, to the CIAA. And I knew it could be done because I had just come from the MEAC, University of Mercy Shore, and that was the sport I was assigned to help with the championship. So I've been exposed to it. But we had my pitch to the presidents was bowling is already on national television. So the NCAA does not have a national championship because they don't have enough teams. So if we make it mandatory for all 12 of our schools, we would guarantee to have a national championship with one of our teams in it. And it worked. And I think it was 2004. We were in the national championship. Winston-Salem State represented the CIAA in the very first national championship. So that really lends itself, and my advice to anyone is to know the trends that's going on in your area and be able to educate yourself so you can educate others and influence decision makers.
Okay, cool. So can you discuss the importance of marketing the success of others in the sports industry?
You know, that's what we do in our private Facebook group. We got 3,300 people in our private Facebook group. And especially, you know, going with the mental health piece, community is important. especially when you think that you're the only one. Now, I just happened to work in HBCU land, so it wasn't necessarily race that made me isolated. But being a woman has been more of a challenge, especially in the 90s, and me being one of the first female athletic directors at 28 years old. I'm now 56. So that's why I have a lot of experiences. I can help other women to do that. To navigate some of those things. Some of my clients, they were talking about sitting athletic directors have come to me and share concerns about development. So development is a person who goes get money for the whole campus. Well, most people want to be associated with who? Athletics. And it's easier for you to get dollars than the university. And so they ask for their list. Now, that's not cool. They try to control their relations with their mate. And so I try to advise them to say we can partner and we can add value. So let me give you one example that just happened this past week that gave me a great example. So if you watch the Democratic convention, right? National convention, they had suites just like we have at sporting events. They got VIP pieces and all that kind of thing. So most of the time, athletics wouldn't have any access to that, correct? Right. But somebody in the president's office would. Okay? So if somebody gave to athletics, and I know that they would love to be in the presence of Michelle Obama, all right? Okay. So guess what? I can say, my relationship in athletics, I can say, I know that you really love that Michelle Obama book. I know that our president has access to a suite. Would you like to attend? But there is a cost. I partner with the development office. How much do you want to charge this person to get the ticket to meet Michelle Obama in Dr. So-and-so suite? That's how you partner. Now, if the person pays the money for that, then she becomes your person. But not me just giving you my whole list. You added value because I'm not going to lose her because I'm the one who made the bread. So I train, again, politics is not a dirty word. All right? It's all about relationships. And I have a whole thing about how not to avoid politics. It's just like playing spades. You can win a hand of spades while having no spades in your hand. Am I right?
That's right.
You just got to know how them cards fall. So that's right. What I just said, you're going to probably have a lot of tension with your development office because, she's taking money and we can go get... No, you just listen to see what's important. You listen to see what's important to all parties, okay? Then you earn trust. That she, when she says she's going to do something, she's going to do that. She's consistent, all right? She's consistent. Same thing with spades. You know when a person always gets excited about, they always play all their aces all at one time? Mm-hmm. You know what they're going to do. This person never reneges. This person hates to get set. So she is not going to overbid, okay? All right? Mm-hmm. This person is not going to say anything. She's going to allow that other person to make all the bids and she's going to follow suit. Mm-hmm. You earn trust. People know what you're all about. A means allow things to happen. Because when you allow things to happen, you really do find out who's on your team. Now, I got a young lady right now that changed presidents. She's ready to see who's got her suit right now. Where before, somebody was always cutting her. Now they see they're in the same suit. You follow what I'm saying? So sometimes you play off to see if a person supports you or don't support you. You better see where they are. All right? Then R means relationships. Relationships are face cards in spades. Spend your time building higher relationships. All right? Then sit here and rehash what already happened. All right? Because that water cooler conversation, you need to keep on walking. That's it. Because that's going to label you as a problem person, as a person that keeps reneging, a person that talk junk all the time and talks across the board. All right. But a person who build a high relationship, next time, boom, you're going to be able to win that hand, that issue at hand. And lastly, notice how people act when they lose. Notice how people act when they win. You just and decide, do you want to be on that person's team or not? And that's how I say, learn the game. Don't avoid politics. It's nothing but a game. So that's what I'm saying about these young ladies about go ahead for that AD position. Don't let somebody else intimidate you because they think that you've been a first-time administrator. One of the things I used to always say, a coach may become an AD, but I've been an AD longer than the coach has been an AD. You see? So my being sitting at the table and seeing what VPs do and how they move, I got 30 years down on you. Well, you might have had 3.
That's right. Okay. I like how you you compared it to spades. I'm a big spades player myself, so a lot of people, if they don't know how to play spades, a lot of those analogies they wouldn't get. You know what I mean? Like, because if I feel like my partner got this book and I don't know if this person couldn't, I'm gonna lay off. I'm gonna throw that club down over this heart. I'm gonna just throw my little tour club down. My partner might have the queen. I'm gonna see if the queen gonna walk this time. We'll see if the jack gonna walk.
Mm-hmm. And you allow things to happen. That's A. You allow things to happen to see where things are. You don't have to win every book. Some people are like, no. And the people gonna know where you stand, and you ain't gonna know where they stand. You gonna do that when you earn trust. Now allow to see where everybody else is standing.
Yep, because you laying off on that book can allow your partner to get that take another card out of your hand. So now when it comes back around, them clubs hit again. Now you ain't got no clubs because you done laid them all off. So now it's your turn to be on offense. You know what I mean? So
that's right.
But yeah, I like that. So let's say, so how do you see technology impacting the future of sports medicine and leadership?
When you say sports medicine, do you just mean sports management?
Yes, sport. Yes, I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah, AI is coming and it's here. Artificial intelligence. And I don't mean using AI to write your letter, because you got to go in there and make it your own. But a lot of times where, like, I got a client right now who has an app, but that needs some work. Mm-hmm. So it needs because people are drawn to moving things, pictures and moving. So you having a lot of words ain't gonna cut it. Mm-hmm. So how do you input? And I mean, there are a lot of AI apps, and you can put some information in, and then it comes out with. I'm trying to see. I got one in here that I love. One of my girlfriends came up with a. Is this it? Yeah. This is one of my former clients. All right. This is a female athlete's coloring book.
Okay.
Plus size. Now you hear something funny. My husband said, I know that girl up front. I said, no, you don't. He said, yes, I do. I said, she's not real. She was made by AI. What? But you see what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
I agree that AI is coming, and it's already here. It just expanded even more, and it's affecting people's jobs and stuff too. So
yeah, copywriters are going to I mean, like, you used to pay somebody to write your copy for your ad. Now you can input. I mean, even speeches. Now I just to write my own speeches. Even the outline. I mean, I still do that myself, but it gets me going. Give me some gas in my tank to to go. Right. I still decide which way we're going, but it gives me some gas.
It don't help to have a little spark, sometimes, life has been so busy, so you like, you know what, I'm just gonna utilize it to help me get where I need to be, so it's definitely useful in some aspects, and in some aspects that is shouldn't be used in, or but we don't make those kind of decisions. So so how do you approach networking and relationship building in the sports industry?
Well, I tell my students, some people are introverts, some people are extroverts. So I kind of say to everyone the same thing. And the introverts really love it. I would say when you go into a conference, go and decide who you need to meet. Go and research them. Now, I don't mean like, go to a beeline, when you get there, but have something to say with substance. If they have a book. Oh, I read your book. So and so and so. I have a question about blank. Or I'm from this town here. Do you happen to know? People do this all the time. Do you know so and so? Her grandmother and I went to the same church. Have something to connect, because again, you want the person to remember you, and whatever you say or question to them is how they're going to remember you.
Right. I would agree. I would definitely agree with that. First impressions mean they're not everything, but they mean a lot, because a lot of times perception is reality. So what somebody perceives you to be is who they think you are, even though that's not who you are. So
that's right.
So, is there anything that you really just want to make sure you drive home for the listeners out there in the world?
Well, for me, it is because again, I plant seeds. Mm-hmm. If it's something that you want to do, there is some book out there to help guide you to do that. All right. And then for those who are in athletics and sports, I would say really, really, don't be afraid to put your specialty out there, your intellectual property. And I'm here to help you to do that, for me to help you get you. Because again, standing out is not a bad thing. We have a hard time doing publicity for ourselves. And that's how you go. I mean, again, in order to do for others, you still got to stand out. You got to be in the front. So I just need to, get that, rewind that, get and erase that conversation in your head. I need to be humble. All right. And the old saying, what? Shut mouths don't get fed. Mm-hmm. So shut mouths don't get chosen. All right. So I would love to help you be able to put out your intellectual property. Connect with me on LinkedIn at Monique AJ Smith. That's where I like to start our conversation.
Okay, perfect. So I want to take this time, Miss Monique, to tell you that I definitely appreciate you coming on today to talk about, talking about the sports industry as a whole for the most part, but also how to certain ways to market yourself and talk about the importance of people of color being in certain positions and paving a way, and all the many things that we discussed today. I definitely want to tell you I appreciate you coming on today to talk about it.
I really, really appreciate you having me on your show. I appreciate that.
Oh yes, no problem at all. So everyone that's watching, you guys go to the description or the show notes. You'll see the link for her LinkedIn to contact her, chat with her, follow her. Just go support her in every way possible, you guys. Go check out her magazine that just recently came out. And just support her in every way possible, because the work that she's doing is amazing work, you guys. So we got to be better at supporting each other. So thank you all for watching. You guys have just watched another episode of All in All with Alex, and we'll see you guys on the next episode. Peace.